Hey, this is Brian from Wright 732, and I posted a blog post last week about being the boss, and I just wanted to expound upon that a little bit more. One of the main things you have to realize if you're going to be the boss or you're going to be the leader of people, even a manager, is that you have to understand that you have to be responsible for every single thing that happens below you. And if you are the boss or the owner, there's no one above you, so you have to take responsibility for everything. One of the main problems that we get in the culture of dealing with people or managing people is that we shift blame around. As I wrote in my post, is we can be like a 3-year-old who doesn't want to eat his broccoli and he's pushing it around the plate. We never really get anywhere. The project never gets finished. The blame situation just gets in the way. It's being pushed around and around and around, and everybody's trying to avoid being responsible for a problem that may have occurred. So instead of dealing with the problem, learning from the problem, advancing our cause, we're all trying to find someone to fall on their sword, take a bullet, whatever analogy you want to come up with. So the best thing you can do as a leader is just accept responsibility. So if someone below you screws up and you are the leader, it is your fault anyway, because it's your responsibility to hire the right people, train them, educate them to understand what's going on. And when it comes to a project, it's your communication about the project that will ultimately lead to the success or failure of the project. So if you have something that you hand off to somebody and you don't hand it off in the proper fashion and it doesn't get done correctly, it's not really the fault of the person that you gave it to. It's your fault. So if you're one of the managers that sits around and just expects things to organically get done, or you just throw it out there and you're just assuming it's going to get done correctly, or you're going to assume that they understand, or you're going to assume whatever, and it doesn't work out the way you want, and then you're slamming blame, that's really just not a good thing. People are going to be afraid to make mistakes. People are afraid to do anything, quite honestly. If you want people to be proactive, if you want people to be aggressively going after things, you have to make them aware of the fact that failure is not, an acceptable result, but it's not something that, you're going to necessarily fire them over. If failure is all someone brings in, of course you're going to have to get rid of them and replace them. But if failure on a micro level that leads to a macro gain is happening, that's different. If people are making mistakes, learning from their mistakes and, making progress, that's a different scenario. If people make a mistake once and they never make it again, you got somewhere, you have no reason to get rid of that person. If it's a habitual process of failure on the same task, well, then you just have to realize that you don't have the ability to communicate with this person, or that person just doesn't have the ability. So to be fair to yourself, to be fair to your business, to keep everything moving forward, take responsibility for everything. Every positive or negative thing that happens, take responsibility for it. The worst managers in the world only take credit. They never take responsibility. Don't be that guy. The same way that you want your staff to deal with clients, customers, the marketplace, the way you want to deal with the marketplace is the same way you have to deal with your staff. As a manager, as a leader, you are as much a salesperson as you are anything, because you're selling your ideas, your communications to your own people. They have to buy into what it is you need them to do completely, so that they invest themselves into what it is that you're offering. So sales is really the key to everything. Communication is the key to sales. So it's your ability to communicate all the different aspects of whatever it is you're doing in a way that's going to make them appreciate the process, understand how it fits into your overall mission, so that your staff walks away from an interaction with you, empowered with the idea that what they do increases the success of your company. And if they fail, it's bringing your company down. It's not just wasted tasks or stuff that they feel like, hey, I'm just being kind of thrown to the wolves here, so screw it. You really want people to feel, embraced by the process. And that just comes down to your communication. So if you don't want to invest the time into your staff, this is going to be a problem for you. If you're going to have the ability to accept responsibility and to constantly move forward, that's a good thing. That's exactly what it is that we need you to do. So that's my message. You can find my rant, do you want to be the boss? That's going to be, that's on my website, brianwright732.com. Take a read of it. Give me a comment. I would love to hear what you have to say about what I just said here, what I have to say in my writing. Let me know. All right, go to brianwright732.com. Check it out. You can find me on Facebook as well. You can find me on Twitter at brianwright732.com. Pretty much all social medias. So enjoy your day, and I look forward to what you have to say back.